Schedule an appointment with one of Cordell & Cordell's Austin area attorneys. Joseph Cordell, Principal Partner. CordellCordell.com.
By texting 64,000, you agree to receive recurring automated marketing messages from Ownwell. Message and data rates may apply. No purchase required. Terms apply. Available at ownwell.com/terms. Estimate based on your neighborhood average and individual results may vary.
When I saw how high my property tax bill was, I was shocked. We couldn't afford this, but I discovered Ownwell. Ownwell reduced my property taxes and saved me over $1,000.
Your property taxes aren't set in stone. They can be protested and they can be reduced. But instead of filing protests yourself and very possibly losing your appeal, Ownwell does it all for you. But hurry, time is running out to protest. Ownwell has reduced property taxes for hundreds of thousands of Texans and put money back in their pocket, and you can be one of them. And unlike other companies that take half of whatever you save, Ownwell charges just 25%, and that's only if you save.
Now I don't worry about my property taxes. Ownwell reduces it every year.
Sign up now, free. Don't pay unless you save. But hurry, time is running out to protest. Text WIN to 64,000. Text WIN to 64,000. Text WIN to 64,000.
Get the Apple Leasing Advantage today. Visit appleleasing.com. That's appleleasing.com.
Sports Radio 1300 The Zone, KVET AM Austin. Your home for the Horns. Make us the #1 preset in your car and on the free new and improved iHeartRadio app. Free never sounded so good.
The morning kickoff. The morning kickoff.
It's the morning kickoff with Mike Hardball Hardge and the world's strongest man, WWE Hall of Famer Mark Henry, on your home for the Horns, 1300 The Zone.
Good morning, Austin, K-Town, Pflugerville, H-Town, Pearland,
Leander, and Silsbee, Texas,
or wherever you may be listening. This is a Way Back Wednesday edition of the Morning Kickoff right here on Sports Radio AM 1300 The Zone. We have more from Sark's meeting with the media. Danny Davis of the Austin American-Statesman joins us at 7:34. SEC Media Day has been announced. The NBA play-in games continue tonight. Another Cowboy walks away, and a big name is on the NFL trading block. I'm your host, Mike Hardball Hardge. My co-host is a WWE Hall of Famer and recognized as the world's strongest man. He is the Mark Henry.
Good morning, Austin.
And, of course, our guy Marcus is behind the boards. And if you want to be a part of the show, all you got to do is text the word Texas, followed by your message to 81530. Standard data and message rates may apply. That's the word Texas, followed by your message to 81530. Standard data and message rates may apply. And if you want to voice your opinion, all you got to do is leave us a message by using the talkback feature on that new and improved preset iHeartRadio app. Will receive your message instantly, and you might hear it on air, but you'll also get an opportunity to win a pair of tickets to go see Jason Aldean. Last night, the NBA kicked off with its play-in games, and let's just say they did not disappoint. We both sat here yesterday and thought that the Orlando Magic would be the team that would defeat the Hawks. That's exactly what happened, as the Hawks got beat 120-95. We talked, Mark, you had brought up the information about the guard play and how big those guards were going to be for the Orlando Magic against Trae Young. That happened. Steph Curry comes out and is Chef Curry-like, along with playoff Hemi. Jimmy Butler went out and did his thing. But I want, before we get into the Warriors matchup, let's go with the first game. Orlando Magic comes out and they go on an epic run early in the ball game. They outscored the Hawks 32-17 in the first quarter. And the Hawks tried to make it happen, and they won the next two quarters. But then that fourth quarter, they just opened it up and just took off against this team. Trae Young played all 40 minutes. Played 40 minutes in the ball game, but he just really couldn't get going because of the guard play. But Pablo Banchero, he was okay. But it was Wendell Carter getting second chance buckets and being able to push the envelope on that basketball court. Another player that played outstanding was Cole Anthony. Cole Anthony coming off the bench, only played 20 minutes, but was plus 32 on the floor. And, of course, he finished with 26 points.
Listen, I'm telling you, those guards are big, they're aggressive, and they give fits to teams that have other guards. If you have smaller guards, you're going to have problems with Orlando.
Yeah. Orlando is a physical team. Franz Wagner, he did okay.
He didn't have a great night.
No,
but he was a force in rebounding and facilitating the offense.
Yeah, but my player of the game was Wendell Carter. Wendell Carter was hustling all over the place. Extra passes, being able to get some blocks, being aggressive on the block, getting
the loose ball.
Yes, and definitely making some plays. And you forget, too, that Corey Joseph is the starting point guard for them on that team. So Texas was well represented. But Cole Anthony was the story. 10 of 17 from the field, 4 of 9 from three-point land, and he has 6 assists. And as I said, he was plus 32 with his time on the floor, and you really can't do much with that. And you look across and you look at what Atlanta wasn't able to do. Yeah, Trae Young had 28 points, but he was minus 22 on the floor when he was out there. So they got a tough matchup to try to stay in the playoffs. The Orlando Magic is now getting ready to take on the Boston Celtics as they move into that 7 spot. And Atlanta has to play again. But I wanted to ask you this, Mark, because you were talking about the guard play and how physical and how big they were going to be. And this morning you were talking about how the matchup against Boston, you believe that it's going to be a tough matchup for Boston against them.
But both of Boston's guards are really good, but they're 6'4". Derek White and Holiday they both were on the Olympic team because of their defensive and offensive complement. When they play against Orlando, Cole Anthony, 6'5". Anthony Black, 6'7". Guards. And they play physical. Did you see at least twice Trae Young got caught up with Black and they were about to fight?
Yeah.
They had to be pulled apart twice because they antagonize. They take you off your game. And that's not counting what you just mentioned, that Corey Joseph is a brain. He's going to be a head coach in the NBA. He's going to be a Jason Kidd type guy. He's brilliant. He's well respected. He's traveled. He's played for 10 teams. Whenever somebody gets hurt, that starting point guard gets hurt, first thing they do is Corey Joseph available? Because he can play in any system.
Right.
So there's nothing that he hasn't seen. The guard play at Orlando is not elite, but it's right there and it's better than most teams. And I think Boston is going to have a big problem with that. It's going to force Brown and Tatum to have to score 30 points each.
Yeah.
And with Pablo Banchero scoring 30 points, and if you can get the bigs to step up at Orlando, they can give Boston problems. And they're one of the teams this year that beat Boston in the season games. They played Boston 3 times this season. They beat them twice.
Yeah, Boston got that championship pedigree, so we'll see how this matchup happens. The Warriors will now go on to play the Rockets after their victory yesterday against the Memphis Grizzlies, and the game was 121-116. But there was a play in the game late in the ball game that they didn't have the ability to get the ball in. So it changed the dynamic of the game. But let's just be honest. Steph Curry, what he's been able to do, playoff Jimmy, getting an opportunity to go out there. And Jimmy Butler believes that he really, really likes this Warriors team.
I think any team has a chance when I'm on a team, but I know that every team has a chance if Steph's on the team. So I get to play Robin. That's my Batman, and I don't know who else is. We got all the villains over there, Two-Face and Joker and Riddler, and everybody else in the Western Conference. But we got a lot of games on. Great, thank you.
I like that scenario, Two-Face, the Joker. I like that over there with Denver.
I like the confidence. You know, any team that I'm on is going to be good.
Yeah, and any team Steph's on has an opportunity to win. Well, now this is going to be the Grizzlies. The Grizzlies now have moved into the 8th spot, and now they have to play the winner of tonight's matchup between the Kings and the Mavericks. We'll talk a little bit more about that because I want you to hear from what was said in the meeting about Luka and the trade from Nico Harrison. You know, everybody always wants to talk about Nico, but here's what was said about Nico. Told the media, because no phones, no cameras, but the media was allowed to be in this Q&A with Nico.
Because, Tim, you just got out of a closed-door meeting with general manager Nico Harrison. There were no cameras allowed, but you were there. So what can you tell us about what happened and what you heard?
Howdy, Malika. Hey, Rick Welts, the new CEO of the Mavericks, was also there. He really wanted to discuss potential plans for a new arena in Dallas next decade, but folks just kept going back to peppering Nico with questions about this trade that he made, the Luka Doncic deal. And hey, Nico doubled down, he tripled down, he quadrupled down. I could go on. I ran out of fingers counting how many times that he said defense wins championships. So he's sticking with that. Now, hey, the Mavericks last year had the top defense in the league for the final 20 games. You know, even in the finals against the Celtics, 109.2 defensive rating. That would have ranked second in the league last regular season. They lost that series for other reasons, but that logic maybe doesn't necessarily add up. Neither does this. The Mavericks owe their first-round draft capital for deals they made to successfully build around Luka in 27, 28, 29, and 30, either outright or swaps. Nico Harrison created what he calls a 3 to 4 year time frame to be a championship contender. Obviously, year one, ruined by injuries. I pushed back on the logic of that. He just kept going back to the defense wins championships mantra. Quite frankly, a lot doesn't make sense, but Nico made it clear he does plan to be the general manager of the Mavericks for the rest of his contract, which has 3 years left.
Okay, so he's saying that he's going to be the general manager for the rest of his
contract. That's funny to me because he said, my contract says 3 years. I'm here for 3 years. Mama call him Clay. I'm going to call him Clay. Don't try to come over here and mess with me. I'm staying.
I got a question for you.
Yep.
If you were offered 4 first-round draft picks for the number 1 pick in the draft this year, would you take it?
If you were offered 4 first-round?
4 first-round picks.
How would that even be possible, though?
Well, Dallas has 5 first-round picks.
5 first-round picks?
Not in one season, but in the next.
Well, that's what I'm like.
In the next 3 years, while Nico is there, he can mortgage those 5 picks, 5 first-round picks. I would be willing to give all of my 5 first-round picks for the next 3 years for the number 1 pick this year. And
you think Cooper's going to be that guy?
If you put Cooper Flag with Anthony Davis, they'll win a championship.
It's definitely something to think about. So we will continue the conversation a little bit later. But coming up next, we're going to hear more from Coach Steve Sarkisian from his press availability on Monday, right here on the Morning Kickoff. Don't go anywhere, folks.
Baseball season is here, and the Round Rock Express are ready to take the field. Hear all the action right here on 1300 The Zone. Whether you're at home or on the road, stay connected with Round Rock Express baseball live on 1300 The Zone.
Don't miss the iHeart Country Festival 2025, returning to the Moody Center Saturday, May 3rd. Get your tickets now at Ticketmaster.com.
A change for the better on I-35 southbound. The accident at Yeager Lane has been taken care of, but on the flip side of I-35 going northbound, there's a stalled vehicle in the right lane at Woodland. On 290 eastbound at Brody Lane, there's a crash blocking you off the right shoulder and a new wreck on 290 eastbound at Greg Maynor Road. I'm Jason Fossick with a look at Austin area traffic.
This report is sponsored by Randall's. Save on family favorites when you shop with digital coupons at Randall's. This week at Randall's, get oven-ready beef roast for just $6.97 per pound with digital coupon. Plus, get 1-pound packages of strawberries for only $1.97 each with digital coupon.
With 12 grams of protein per serving, Quaker Protein Instant Oatmeal is there for active mornings, relaxing ones, and all the moments in between. It microwaves in 60 seconds, helping fuel your morning with ease. With 4 delicious flavors to choose from, there's a reason it's the GOAT. That's greatest oatmeal of all time. Try a delicious bowl of Quaker Protein Instant Oatmeal today. Quaker, bring out the good.
Sometimes it feels like the world is moving at hyperspeed and you can't keep up because it's one thing then another. And don't forget the meeting and the yoga class and the dinner reservation. But then you get into the all-new Nissan Murano and you feel the breeze from the panoramic moonroof while the massaging seats melt away the tension of the day. And you realize that sometimes the greatest rush is not rushing at all. Shop the all-new Murano at nissanusa.com. Panoramic moonroof massaging leather appointed seats are available features.
It's time to warm up that scoreboard and get ready to bring home the win with Specs. Specs has you covered with lower prices on all your favorite fan fuel. From craft beer, rare spirits, and world-class wine to chips, dips, and gourmet finer foods. And with same-day delivery when you order online or through the app, Specs is your MVP for the biggest score of the game. At Specs, the fun starts here.
Here's to you, cheers to savings.
Rapid radios are the official walkie-talkie of the Dan Patrick Show. You can reach your aging parents anywhere at any time with Rapid Radio's push-to-talk devices, providing clear contact nationwide on an LTE network. 100% private, no subscriptions ever. Visit rapidradios.com. For a limited time, go to rapidradios.com, get up to 60% free shipping from Michigan. Add code radio25, get an extra $25 off and free EMP protection bag.
Hey, Austin, this is Cameron Parker with big news. 2024 savings are ending. Customers who switch from Geico, Allstate, and State Farm to Fred Loya Insurance saved an average of $2,300 a year. That's right. Customers in Texas saved an average of $2,300 a year when they switch to Fred Loya Insurance. That's almost $200 a month. Wow. Don't wait. Make 2025 a great year by calling Fred Loya Insurance. Call today, 1-800-444-4040. That's 1-800-444-4040. Or visit fredloya.com. If you don't call, you don't save. Individual savings may vary.
I can't sleep.
What is it now?
It's the company. It's chaos.
What's chaos now?
The numbers, the expenses, the books. What if we get audited?
No one's going to audit you at 3 a.m. Go to sleep.
I can't sleep.
You could if you used Ramp.
Who said that?
I don't care because they're right. Go to sleep and sign up for Ramp in the morning, Jerry.
Ramp is the corporate card that handles all your tedious financial operations automatically, integrates directly with your ERP, and gives you complete control over every transaction. Ramp gives you everything you need for bulletproof books and a better night's sleep.
Wow, that is exactly what my company needs.
Yes, and exactly what I also need. Go to sleep, Jerry.
Upgrade to Ramp for free today and get $250 at ramp.com/radio. Ramp.com/radio. That's ramp.com/radio.
Cards issued by Sutton Bank, members FDIC. Terms and conditions apply.
The free iHeartRadio app has over 100 commercial-free stations waiting for you to explore right now, like Alt 2K. A commercial-free look back to alternative from the 2000s.
It just takes some time, little girl in a little out the ride.
With Foo Fighters, Weezer, Linkin Park, Green Day, the Red Hot Chili Peppers, and more.
Someone like you.
Just open the free iHeartRadio app, search Alt 2K, and make it your next preset.
iHeartRadio.
Sports Radio AM 1300 The Zone presents the Craig Way Show. Join Craig Way weekdays from 2 to 5 p.m. only on Sports Radio AM 1300 The Zone.
up in the next segment, we're going to have Danny Davis of the Austin American Statesman talking Texas baseball, Texas football, and of course, we'll ask him about some basketball conversation as the WNBA draft took place. No Texas Longhorns had decided to enter the draft, so we'll see what's next for Texas as they got some recruits, some transfers as well. But I want to hear from Coach Steve Sarkisian. There is so much that is going on with the NIL, the conversation about NIL, and what's next when it comes to NIL. And so Coach Sark was asked about talking to his players about NIL, talking to them about their status, practice, and so much more. But I want you to hear him and his explanation about talking to the players about NIL.
Our situation is always evolving, right? I eventually have that meeting with our players. I don't think I'm at that space to have that meeting, right? I mean, we've got another portal window that's coming. Great idea by us. We've got another free agency window that's about to happen, and so I don't think I'm quite in that position to do that yet. But there will come a time we have that meeting where our focus has got to be on the right things if they want to play as good a football as they can play.
And the reason why he's got to be careful about those conversations, and not truly be careful, but the transfer portal window opened today. So players are now looking at different job opportunities. There's a lot of conversation about who's going to jump in, who's not going to jump in. We're going to have Chris Hummer of 24/7 Sports on next week to talk about the transfer portal, who went where, what are the big news, and who's going to be impacted by that. And Sark continues to check the status on that, Mark.
How long is the portal open?
I think a couple days. I think maybe a week. Maybe a week.
At the most.
At the most. And most of it happens, obviously
We'll
with
have to
spring
ask Chris.
games.
He'll know exactly.
Spring games and everything else that's going on during that time. That's when people start to make their moves. So this would be the week today would be the day that you start to see names trickling in throughout the spring. But you also got to look at it. There's two portal windows. There's one in the fall and there's one right now. And so Sark has been asked, do you get a chance to really talk about each player and talk about their status with the team before any of this happens?
I mean, it's no different than any other player on the team. We try to communicate on a high level of where they're at, where they can improve, what we envision their journey looking like short term and long term. But again, 2 years ago, we were in the college football playoff, and Malik was our backup quarterback, and he felt like he had to go into the portal to solidify a position because if he didn't go in, somebody else was going to take that spot. And that's a terrible position for a young man to be in. The fact that he's worked since January with his team, competing to try to win a national championship. He started, I believe, 2 games for us that fall. And then here we are going to play a semifinal game in the Sugar Bowl against Washington, and he has to leave his team or he might lose a spot on another team. Like, none of that makes sense to me. It didn't make sense to me then. It doesn't make sense to me now. But that's what we created. And so if we're going to do anything to help the players and the student athletes and help the programs, we've got to look at this model and see where we can improve it and do it in a way where there's some teeth involved. Because if not, there's just going to be another lawsuit and the whole thing's going to fall apart again, and we're going to go back to square one. But communication, to answer your question, communication is the key.
And that's the other part of it, because what he was alluding to in that conversation was talking about Malik Murphy last year when he was in the transfer portal. He gets ready. They're battling to go to the playoff. And then all of a sudden he has to leave his team because if he doesn't, they're going to pull that other offer from him and he's not going to have a school to go to. So it's a unique situation. And it's one of those things that you continue to look at and you say, well, how do you fine tune this? And to answer your question, the transfer portal is open today and it will go through Friday the 25th. So the 25th is when the transfer portal closes. And so Texas, who has its spring fling or the spring fan day is the 26th. So guys are going to have to make decisions before that. So we'll find out going into that. But to answer your question, it's today through the 25th.
Well, I really do feel like Coach Sark has is at the pulse of it. The things that he says, it makes you go, wow, that makes all the sense in the world.
Right.
Like the structure of it is, I feel like the problem with everybody. Why is there 2 portals? Why is the players have to make a decision at a time when it's not going to affect anything? You can't wait another month. You can't wait another month to.
You mean wait till the summer? Till
Yeah,
school's
wait
out?
till the school is out and the season is over.
Yeah.
And then have people be able to make a decision. It just seems like it's backwards and that it needs organization.
Well, that is the key, and that's why they are having these meetings in Congress. They thought Congress was going to jump in. Congress said, nope, you made your bed.
Where's the NCAA? What are they doing? Why do they get paid?
Thought Congress was going to step in to try to help put these things in there. And you know, the NCAA, only thing they truly, truly care about is college basketball. That is the only thing that they really get paid for. We've talked about this before. Unless you're a lower D1, D2, D3, the NCAA, they're not even the ones giving you the trophy. You know, it's a different, the Sears trophy or whatever it's called for the national championship is not an NCAA trophy for football.
Wow,
for basketball
that's
and
right.
everything else, you get that placard. You get that to raise that deal up. It's anything else, football, you get the crystal ball. It's not by the NCAA. So it's a little interesting when it comes to that. But back on the football field, Coach was asked about the competition that's in practice and how everybody's competing.
Well, I think competition is good for all of us, right? At any position, you know, whether it's running back, whether it's tackle, defensive tackle, kicker, punter. You know, competition should bring out the best in everybody. And we've talked about that in this program for years now, right? When you line up and you think, man, I need to play well today because the guy behind me is probably physically as good or better than me. He may not know everything yet, but he's physically as good or better, and I need to continue to perform to keep my job. And if I'm behind that guy, I know I'm chasing his heels. I know I'm physically better, but how quickly can I learn it to maybe get in front of him? The specialists are no different, right? We want to make sure that we can put as much confidence into them that they can do the job, but yet as much pressure on them that they can perform when their best is needed in critical moments. And I think we've created that. And I think we're starting to see the best of it, especially at punter right now. Those guys are really bombing the ball.
You know where they didn't say
what?
That there's competition? Linebacker and defensive end. Texas is loaded at linebacker, defensive end. There will be no competition with Mr. Colin Simmons.
Oh, yeah.
There will be no competition with Mr. Anthony Hill.
Yeah, those guys, I mean, they've established themselves in this program, and it's the same thing. There's no competition at quarterback either. So,
yeah.
I mean, they're going to go out there and battle and do everything they can to be able to get onto the field. But the answer is still, you know, already written all over their face. So we'll see what ends up happening. But coming up next, we're going to have Danny Davis of The Statesman. We'll get his thoughts on what's happening with the transfer portal and what changes needs to be made. And also Texas uses the transfer portal in women's basketball. All right here on the Morning Kickoff on Sports Radio, AM 1300, The Zone.
Don't miss the iHeart Country Festival 2025, returning to the Moody Center Saturday, May 3rd. Get your tickets now at Ticketmaster.com.
Some stop-and-go traffic on I-35 northbound causing a 10-minute out of the drive between Onion Creek Parkway up to William Cannon. There's a new accident on Steck Avenue at Shoal Creek Boulevard, and looking on to 290 eastbound for an accident at Greg Manor, and also a crash on 290 westbound at Fitzhugh Road. I'm Jason Fossig with a look at Austin area traffic.
This report is sponsored by Summit Racing Equipment.
It's Car Care Month, and Summit Racing has what you need for bumper-to-bumper care. Revive the interior, exterior, underhood, and more. Shop SummitRacing.com. Use promo code RADIO for $10 off an order, $100 or more. Exclusions apply. Offer ends May 4th, 2025.
Spring is here, and that means time to gear up for graduation gifts and summertime adventures. Whether it's a fresh ride for the grad or a tough truck for your next getaway, Cover Ford and Hutto has what you need. Go see them for great deals like a new 2024 Ford Super Duty Lariat for $10,696 off of MSRP, a new 2024 Ford Mustang EcoBoost Premium for $9,166 off of MSRP, or a new 2024 Ford Expedition Timberline for $9,000 off of MSRP. See dealer for details. CoverFordHutto.com.
It's time to find appliances that fit your needs and your style at the Home Depot. Shop Spring Black Friday savings and get up to 35% off select appliances like GE Profile, plus free delivery. From all-in-one washer-dryer combos that can wash and dry a full load in under 2 hours to feature-loaded refrigerators with built-in autofill water pitchers, GE Profile has appliances made to simplify your life and elevate your home. Shop Spring Black Friday savings on top brand appliances and get free delivery happening now at the Home Depot. Free delivery on appliance purchases of $396 or more. Offer valid April 3rd through April 23rd. U.S. only. See store or online for details.
One of life's greatest mysteries has finally been solved.
Who let the dogs out? Spruce.
It's Spruce, the new hard-working, worry-free weed and grass killer that's safe for use around people and pets. When used as directed, spray the leaves for visible results in just 1 hour and dead weeds in just 1 day. You spray, they play. Weeds die by the next day. Find Spruce wherever weed killers are sold.
Did you know Factory Mattress has over 6,000 five-star local reviews? Factory Mattress carries all the major brands at the guaranteed lowest price and has free next-day delivery and setup. But this week only, instead of charging you a pickup fee for your old mattress like other companies do, Factory Mattress is doing an exclusive $100 trade-in allowance, even if you didn't buy it from us. The best customer reviews and the lowest prices.
My Factory Mattress.
There's a lot on the line in a divorce. Your home, savings, retirement, maybe even kids. So when you find yourself facing divorce and the unexpected directions it can take, you really need a partner you can count on. I'm Rick Julius, a partner at Cordell & Cordell. We're committed to helping protect your personal interests and the life you've built. Don't let divorce take more than it has to. Talk to us today.
Offices in Austin, San Antonio, and St. Louis. Schedule an appointment with one of Cordell & Cordell's Austin area attorneys. Joseph Cordell, Principal Partner. CordellCordell.com.
Hunter Brown tossed 6 scoreless to help the Astros shut out the Cardinals in St. Louis. Ronel Blanco will get the start for Houston this afternoon. Cowboys offensive tackle Tyron Smith retired after 13 seasons in the league. NBA play-in, Magic blew out the Hawks. Warriors beat the Grizzlies. Magic will face the Celtics in the first round. Warriors play the Rockets. I'm Ronza Moss.
This is 11-year NBA veteran Katina Mobley. This is what's trending from iHeart Sports Network.
Presented by Thrivent.
At Thrivent, planning your finances is bigger than money. It's a way to support the people, causes, and community you love. Because the most important thing isn't what you're planning for, it's who. Thrivent, where money means more. Connect with us at Thrivent.com.
The free iHeartRadio app has over 100 commercial-free stations waiting for you to explore right now, like 70s Rock Ride,
Dream on, teenage wasteland.
Pink Floyd, Eagles, Van Halen, Tom Petty, Zeppelin, and more.
Hey, mama said the way you move gonna make you sweat, gonna make you groove. Sweet home Alabama.
Just open the free iHeartRadio app, search 70s Rock Ride, and listen now. Free never sounded so good.
Sports Radio 1300 The Zone, your home for the Texas Longhorns.
It's Wednesday, so that means one thing. Our guy, Danny Davis of the Austin American Statesman, joins us every Wednesday throughout the year. And Danny, Number one, good to see you at Sark's media availability. It's the first one I've been able to go to in quite some time. But, of course, we got to talk women's basketball first. The Texas women season comes up short. Obviously, the big news was Rory decided that she was coming back. The WNBA draft happens. Obviously, none of those ladies were picked. But then you have to rebuild. And Coach Vic Schaefer went out in the portal and found himself a couple of new players that are ready to step in the post. What are your thoughts on the ones that Texas just got commitments from?
Yeah, I mean, Vic obviously came into the season when you lose Taylor Jones. I mean, that's a starter. That's your leading rebounder, second leading scorer. Vic talked throughout the season about the two-headed monster he had with Taylor and Kyra down there. So obviously you want to replicate that with Taylor no longer there. So you go out there, you get a Bria Cunningham, who Texas had been high on when she was a high school recruit, even going back to, I think Karen Ashton gave her second ever scholarship offer, and Vic continued that recruitment, was one of her finalists. So they've had their eyes on her for a while. She played with Madison Booker on the Team USA when they were all seniors in high school. So there's a connection there. That's another 6'4" player who can kind of, at least height-wise, kind of fill in with Taylor. You have to actually kind of see how they play. Bria's free throw percentage is not that great. She's going to get better at that, but she has a pretty good field goal percentage. You kind of expect that to kind of fill in the blanks there, and for Texas to kind of retain that two-headed monster. The Visa, the FAU transfer, maybe more of a project. She's 6'6", but didn't really make that big of an impact during her freshman year, so maybe that's more of a project for down the road. But at least in the immediate future, Texas needed someone to fill in for Taylor Jones, and they got that with Bria Cunningham.
Danny, Hardge brought up the newer players that are coming to the 40 acres. What about, I want to talk about one that's already on the 40 acres, Abby Boltier. Like, is her injuries, dissipated, and what do we look to see from her in the fall next year?
Well, Abby's actually transferring. She jumped in the transfer portal. Her and Jordana Codio were the two Texas players to get in the transfer portal. And so Abby's probably going to be looking for a new home. It's unfortunate she has not been able to play at Texas. She's a lifelong Texas fan, and that her and her family wanted this. Her family traveled to all of Texas games, and so obviously this is a dream for her to play at Texas. Just didn't work out, and so hopefully she can find another school, maybe something a little bit smaller where the playing time is more immediate, and she can find something with her basketball future, because it just didn't work out at Texas, which is probably unfortunate for all parties involved.
Yeah, but one of the people that is coming to the University of Texas is Aaliyah Crump. She is somebody that Texas fans are really excited about. What is it that she's going to, on the surface, bring to the University of Texas?
Well, if anyone saw that highlight film that was circulating over the weekend of her, there's some basketball thing out in Portland with her and Aliyah Chavez were playing together. It featured 7 highlights. 3 of those highlights are defensive highlights, which Vic Schaefer's going to be very happy about. And 3 of those highlights are her knocking down three-pointers, which Texas fans will be very happy about. So Aaliyah seems to be a versatile player, probably play 2 or 3 different positions for this team. So that would be nice for Vic to kind of be able to slot her in multiple positions. And if she can shoot the rock like that, Texas fans are going to be very, very happy.
Yeah, I saw the video, and everybody was commenting right away. That is something that we need, a 3-point shooter. I'm like, be patient. We'll be Texas will be just fine. We're talking to Danny Davis of the Austin American-Statesman. You can follow him at _Danny Davis. Going to the football field, Danny, we got a chance to talk to Sark on Monday, and a lot of the questions were about transfer portal time, which opened today, and, of course, being able to retain a lot of the players within the Texas program. And one of the things that stood out to me was Sark said it seems to be a lot easier now than it was a while back. And do you have a sense of that as well, that now people understand that Texas is getting a chance to develop a lot of guys and you get a chance to go to the next level?
Yeah, I mean, I think Steve laid it out perfectly on Monday. It's easy for him if there's a player who's impatient or a player who as a freshman doesn't want to sit, or someone wants to know like why, that things aren't happening immediately, it's really easy for them to just look at Byron Murphy, look at Devondre Sweat, look at Alfred Collins, look at Vernon Broughton, these defensive linemen who, I guess, Byron's kind of developed early, but those last three, they didn't really develop until their fourth, fifth year guys. You look at some of the other positions where, guys, whether it was a Jordan Whittington who just took the long road because of injuries, or some of these other guys who blossomed late, you can be like, hey, you don't have to star as a freshman. Sure, Xavier Worthy was a star as a freshman, but other guys came on late, other guys developed in our system, and now they are in the NFL, just like an Xavier. So, I think Steve can sell the track record that this program has of developing draft picks over the last few years. If they get all their combine guys, they'll be 25 in a 2-year span. And that's easier to sell to the recruits. You can be like, this is what you have here at the University of Texas. Go ahead and take your shot in the dark in the transfer portal, or stick around for a couple of years, win some games, because it also helps if Texas is winning a lot. Maybe make a little NIL money, since Texas is doing fine in that area too. And get ready for the NFL draft. They're able to put their resume on the table, and it stacks up pretty well. Unless you're going to go to a Georgia or one of these other top tier schools, there aren't a lot of schools out there that are kind of able to match what Texas has done the last 2 or 3 years.
Danny, Texas reached into the, I guess, free agent or the portal for a wide receiver already. Is there any other positions of need?
Yeah, I think Steve last week was talking about some of the portal things that they probably need to get done. They need to get done. They need depth at receiver. I think they need depth at tight end. Some of the injuries that they had there. And I think Steve knows, even though that they brought in 3 defensive linemen in the portal during the early period, you can never have too many defensive linemen. So if a good defensive lineman finds his way into the portal, I'm sure Texas will make a phone call there, because you can never use too many big bodies there in the trenches, even though they have some talent on the roster there.
Danny, before we let you go, what is something that you're going to be working on that is kind of keen to what you've been trying to dial in on with this Texas football team?
I was really interested to hear Steve talk about the specialists on Monday. Assuming all these guys are on scholarship, they have 2 scholarship punters and 2 scholarship kickers, which is kind of a weird, we've lived in areas where Texas, where it's just like taking guys off the street to, fill those positions, and, it's all walk-ons and all that stuff. But Texas seems very invested into, devoting resources to those positions and creating competition. So I think at some point in the next week or so, I'll definitely write about that. But those are some position battles that you don't really think about during spring that are going to be kind of interesting going into the fall.
Yeah, and that's going to be very important for Texas to be able to knock that out of the park, because we know there were some times where it was a little sketchy at best. As always, Danny, appreciate you, and I'll see you this weekend as Texas baseball takes on Auburn in another top 10 matchup at the Dish. I'll see you tomorrow, buddy.
Yes, sir. See you later.
All right. There he is, Danny Davis of the Austin American-Statesman. And when we come back, we'll talk a little bit about the #1 team in the land, Texas baseball, as they got a midweek victory. Yay! We remember those times right here on the Morning Kickoff on Sports Radio, AM 1300, The Zone.
The voice of the Horns, Craig Way on 1300 The Zone, weekdays at 2.
Bonus bucks. Bonus bucks. Once you win $1,000 in bonus bucks, you'll have more money to use on your fantasy leagues. Bonus bucks. The winning happens every weekday, right here
on 1300 The Zone.
Don't miss the iHeart Country Festival 2025, returning to the Moody Center Saturday, May 3rd. Get your tickets now at Ticketmaster.com.
Some stop-and-go traffic on I-35 northbound causing a 10-minute out of the drive between Onion Creek Parkway up to William Cannon. There's a new accident on Steck Avenue at Shoal Creek Boulevard, and looking onto 290 eastbound for an accident at Greg Manor, and also a crash on 290 westbound at Fitzhugh Road. I'm Jason Fossig with a look at Austin area traffic.
This report is sponsored by Taco Bell. If you have a spicy side, Taco Bell now has a menu to match. Taco Bell's new Caliente sauce made with red jalapenos is the spicy side of Cantina chicken. Try it today, only at Taco Bell. At participating Taco Bell stores for a limited time only while supplies last. Contact store for availability.
Individual results may vary. Prescription required. Actual price depends on product and plan purchased. See website for details, restrictions, and important safety information.
You've noticed your hair is thinning out. Or maybe you've noticed your game in the bedroom is getting a bit cold. Let's make this real simple. These are normal things that happen to lots of guys at some point. And through Hims, getting help couldn't be more, as we said, simple. The process is 100% online, so you just have to answer a few simple questions, and a medical provider will determine if treatment is right for you. For your hair, that means access to a range of doctor-trusted treatments designed to help you regrow hair in as few as 3 to 6 months. And for your more intimate moments, that means access to treatments made to give you a boost in the bedroom, like Viagra, Cialis, and their generic counterparts, which can cost up to 95% less through Hims. If prescribed, treatment is shipped right to your door. A few clicks, and you're dealing with these things before they become a thing. So simple. Find your hair loss and ED solutions today at Hims.com. That's Hims.com. HIMS.com.
Consider yourself a bourbon connoisseur? At Twin Peaks, we're proud to offer an exclusive and extensive collection of some incredibly rare bourbons, whiskeys, and tequilas. Plus, check out the Barrel Selects. They are handpicked by our team and bottled just for you.
At CertaPro Painters, we know that a happy place comes in many colors, like ones that inspire a sense of wonder, or a new flavor that makes life just a little bit sweeter, or one to celebrate those moments that lift you to new heights. With thousands of 5-star reviews, you can trust us to bring happiness home. CertaPro Painters. That's painting happy. Each CertaPro Painters business is independently owned and operated. CSLB numbers are 837-312-881-317.
Sometimes it feels like the world is moving at hyperspeed and you can't keep up because it's one thing then another. And don't forget the meeting and the yoga class and the dinner reservation. But then you get into the all-new Nissan Murano and you feel the breeze from the panoramic moonroof while the massaging seats melt away the tension of the day. And you realize that sometimes the greatest rush is not rushing at all. Shop the all-new Murano at nissanusa.com. Panoramic moonroof massaging leather-appointed seats are available features.
The new iHeart app just looks better.
The best feature of a car radio on the app.
It's the presets.
Super easy.
And thank you for keeping it free.
Get in on what everyone's talking about and get the new and improved free iHeartRadio app today.
iHeartRadio.
Still getting around to that fix on your car? You got this. On eBay, you'll find millions of parts guaranteed to fit. Doesn't matter if it's a major engine repair or your first time swapping your windshield wipers. eBay has that part you need, ready to click perfectly into place for changes big and small. Loud or quiet, find all the parts you need at prices you'll love. Guaranteed to fit every time. But you already know that. eBay. Things, people, love. Eligible items only. Exclusions apply.
At Rocket, we believe everyone deserves their shot at the American dream. So if you're feeling locked out of home ownership, we're here to give you back the keys. We're opening doors, breaking down walls, and doing everything we can to turn renters into owners. And we're not going to stop until we help everyone home. To find out more, visit rocket.com. Rocket. Own the dream.
Get the Apple Leasing Advantage today. Visit appleleasing.com. That's appleleasing.com.
Sports Radio 1300 The Zone, KVET AM Austin. Your home for the Horns. Make us the #1 preset in your car and on the free new and improved iHeartRadio app. Free never sounded so good. 1300 The Zone is your home for the Round Rock Express.
Welcome back to the morning kickoff right here on Sports Radio, AM 1300 The Zone. Good stuff. Our guy, Danny Davis of the Austin American State. Oh, yeah. As he breaks it down always in his special type of way. We also want to give you an opportunity to win a pair of tickets right now to see Jason Aldean August the 16th at the Moody Center. All you got to do is get over to the iHeartRadio app, search that red microphone, type in AM 1300 The Zone, and leave the word of the day, Tractor. Tractor is the word of the day for a chance to win tickets to go see Jason Aldean August the 16th at the Moody Center. Also, I want to talk a little bit about Texas baseball. They got a big weekend that is happening starting tomorrow. Obviously, you know that it is the weekend of Easter. So the games this weekend for Texas baseball, their weekend series will be Thursday, Friday, and Saturday. That's Thursday, Friday, and Saturday coming up this weekend as they will take on the number 8 ranked Auburn Tigers. This is a War Doggone Eagle. They will be in town. This is another top 10 matchup for the Texas Longhorns as they've had big game after big game. The following weekend will be Texas A&M coming into town, so you know a lot of folks will be there. But last night, the Texas Longhorns took on UTRGV for an 11-4 victory, and they needed to get that big win because it was the Galvan brothers facing each other.
From UFCU Dish Falk Field, it's the Texas Longhorns against the UTRGV Vaqueros.
And the Vaqueros came in and tried to give them a game, but Texas dominated from the very beginning. First inning, it was 3-0. Second inning, they had scored 4 runs. In the third inning, they scored 2 runs. Then they scored 2 more in the fifth, and they end up winning the game 11-4. Will Gasparino continues to be hot at the plate. Ethan Mendoza, the starting second baseman for the Texas Longhorns, was out. Adrian Rodriguez stepped in and played some second base. Casey Borba was back at third. But the story was Cade Bing and his ability to come in, go 5 innings, 5 hit ball, 1 earned run with 4 strikeouts. And he's somebody that is going to be an integral part of the success of this team. He's a strike thrower who's been trying to work his way through this, and now he's got an opportunity to throw a bunch of strikes, and that was huge. Kimball Schuessler was at the top of the lineup with Mendoza being out. He went 2 for 2 with 3 runs scored with 2 walks. He was on base every single time, and that is important to be the guy at the top of the lineup. Rylan Galvan, whose brother Rene Galvan was playing left field for UTRGV, so they said that they had 70 people in the stands to watch this matchup as these two brothers faced each other for the first time.
Wow,
Twin brothers.
That breaks the record.
Yeah, it's got to be.
I'm the most family members I ever had at a place was like 32 or 33.
Yeah.
70
people. 70 people came to watch that game between the two brothers, and
that can't be just immediate family. That had to be friends.
Oh, they were on the same team. There's other players that were part of their high school state championship team.
Okay.
So it was family, it was friends and family. So it is definitely something that they were all excited about.
They like Bebe's kids.
They just don't
they
die.
Don't die. They multiply.
Yeah, so it was a big time matchup for them, and it was another win on a Tuesday night game. You know, Texas has had some struggles on Tuesday night for just briefly, but they remained the number 1 team, and it was the first game as the number 1 team in the land. And for Texas to go out and get that victory is huge. But they got
a big series coming up.
They got a big series that's coming up this weekend as Auburn comes into town. Auburn swept LSU last weekend, and they just find ways to get it done. This is a team that battles all the way through, and you start to look at what happens throughout the season, right? Like everybody looks at Texas and they were like, how are they going to handle the SEC? The SEC is tough every single night. What are they going to be able to do? Well, they came in, they were very consistent, and now they've worked their way, not only being the number one team in the land, obviously, with that, you become the number one team in the SEC right now. Auburn, who, like I said, just swept LSU, they had a tough matchup last night against Jacksonville State. They won 4-3, but I'm sure that they were already looking at this Texas matchup and trying to get everything lined up. And as we've said before, don't always look at the midweek as an end-all, be-all. The midweek is just that. It's a midweek game. You go out there, you get some guys some work. You get some guys that probably don't play a lot. They get their opportunities to get those reps in. So it is a big, big weekend for college baseball, especially in the SEC.
Hardge, I look at it and I think to myself sometimes in the midweek, the guys that really need the work get the work.
Yeah.
But do you save your best stuff knowing that, okay, we got Auburn coming in here. We got to save our best guys. And I'm when you're number 12 or 14, the target's not on your back.
Right.
Now that Texas has the number one ranking, it's kind of like the Afro Samurai. You know, now everybody's gunning for number one.
Right. Well, I don't think, well, you know, if you're the University of Texas, you're going to get everybody's best shot, midweek or not. Just like you saw Texas State a couple times, they go out and get their relievers or their, just like UTSA, they went and got their closer to come in on a Tuesday to get that victory. But for Texas, I think a lot of it had to do with just making sure, because they're wounded right now. They got hurt players. They got guys playing that are really, really banged up. And I'm not saying that every team doesn't have that, but your starting second baseman is out with a shoulder injury. So you're sitting him out because you're hopeful that he can play Thursday, Friday, and Saturday. Max Ballou, who was the Big 12 Player of the Year, had hand surgery, so you're waiting for him to get out. And then, Adrian Rodriguez, who is probably one of your best hitters on the team, is dealing with a hand injury, and he had to play second base last night. And if you watch the game, which I did, you saw he got a couple pitches that he normally hammers. He couldn't get there. So there's just the timing of everything needed to be seen. And so hopefully starting tomorrow, because that's when the big game starts, the big series starts against Auburn, everybody can have just one more day of a little bit more rest, and now they'll get an opportunity to go out there. We'll give you all the information about that. Also, next weekend, we will be at the stadium because guess what? Fan Fest time, folks. We'll talk about that. And, of course, we're going to tell you where we're going to be for the NFL Draft next Thursday. You don't want to miss it. All coming up in the next hour right here on the Morning Kickoff on Sports Radio, AM 1300, The Zone. Ready to win some real cash during the basketball playoffs? Check out Pick Six from DraftKings. When it comes to basketball payouts, DraftKings Pick Six posterizes the competition, including prize picks. Hit all your picks and score higher minimum payouts on Pick Six, plus even more cash if you outscore the competition. Pick Six is available in most states, including the great state of Texas. I've enjoyed it, and you should too. New players get $50 in Pick Six credits instantly on just $5 entry. Download the DraftKings Pick Six app now and use the code SPOTLIGHT. That's code SPOTLIGHT for new customers to play $5 and get $50 in Pick Six credits. Better payouts and bigger wins only at DraftKings Pick Six. The crown is yours. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. Must be 18 plus age and eligibility restrictions vary by jurisdiction. Void where prohibited. One per new customer. Bonus awarded as non-withdrawable Pick Six credits that expire in 14 days. Limited time offer. See terms at picksix.draftkings.com/promos.
With 12 grams of protein per serving, Quaker Protein Instant Oatmeal is there for active mornings, relaxing ones, and all the moments in between. It microwaves in 60 seconds, helping fuel your morning with ease. With 4 delicious flavors to choose from, there's a reason it's the GOAT. That's greatest oatmeal of all time. Try a delicious bowl of Quaker Protein Instant Oatmeal today. Quaker, bring out the good.
When divorce puts your life's work on the line, Cordell & Cordell is ready to help you protect it. As a business owner, you've dedicated years building a legacy now at risk due to divorce. Let our experienced family law attorneys fight for you and that legacy. Cordell & Cordell is one of the nation's largest family law firms. Call to schedule your consultation today.
Offices in Austin, San Antonio, and St. Louis. Schedule an appointment with one of Cordell & Cordell's Austin area attorneys. Joseph Cordell, Principal Partner. CordellCordell.com.
When you switch to Progressive and bundle your home and auto, you could save hundreds, and that's a surprising amount of money.
Whoa, that's like farmer's market money.
That's like give me a gallon of that locally sourced raw honey money.
That's certified organic heirloom tomatoes in every imaginable color except red money.
That's let's get 2 pounds of pink oyster mushrooms money. I'm not even sure I like pink oyster mushrooms.
Guess it's time to find out, because you could save hundreds when you switch to Progressive and bundle. Then the world is your pink oyster mushroom. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company, affiliates, and other insurers. Not available in all states.
It's time to warm up that scoreboard and get ready to bring home the win with Specs. Specs has you covered with lower prices on all your favorite fan fuel. From craft beer, rare spirits, and world-class wine to chips, dips, and gourmet finer foods. And with same-day delivery when you order online or through the app, Specs is your MVP for the biggest score of the game. At Specs, the fun starts here.
Here's to you, cheers to savings. One of life's greatest mysteries has finally been solved.
Who let the dogs out? Spruce.
It's Spruce, the new hard-working, worry-free weed and grass killer that's safe for use around people and pets. When used as directed, spray the leaves for visible results in just 1 hour and dead weeds in just 1 day. You spray, they play. Weeds die by the next day. Find Spruce wherever weed killers are sold.
Would you drive 10 minutes for $500? That's the distance from CarMax to Henna Chevrolet. And Henna guarantees you $500 more than any CarMax offer for your vehicle. Just show Henna your written CarMax appraisal offer within 7 days, and you'll get $1,000 more guaranteed. Is your time worth $50 a minute? It is at Henna. Come get your money at Henna.com.
Henna Chevrolet will always stand by you.
Together, let's drive.
Sports Radio 1300 The Zone, KVET AM Austin. Your home for the Horns. Make us the #1 preset in your car and on the free new and improved iHeartRadio app. Free never sounded so good.
The morning kickoff. The morning kickoff.
It's the morning kickoff with Mike Hardball Hardge and the world's strongest man, WWE Hall of Famer Mark Henry, on your home for the Horns. 1300 The Zone.
Welcome back to hour number 2 of the morning kickoff right here on Sports Radio AM 1300 The Zone. Mike Hardball Hardge, world's strongest man, WWE Hall of Famer, the Mark Henry. And, of course, we got our guy Marcus on the boards. In hour number 1, we talked NBA play-in games. Orlando spanked the Hawks 120-95. We also talked about the Golden State Warriors with Steph Curry and Jimmy Butler, Batman and Robin, defeating the Memphis Grizzlies 121-116. Both teams advanced to take on the number 2 seeds in each conference. Golden State will take on the Houston Rockets, Marcus's team, and they will Orlando will take on the Boston Celtics. We also heard from Coach Sark about transfer portal and so much more. Danny Davis talked about transfer portal and the women's game. And UT-RGV came in, got handled by the number 1 team in the land, the Texas Longhorns, 11-4. Right now, I wanted to talk about Tyron Smith. Tyron Smith of the Dallas Cowboys signed a 1-day contract to come back after he had went to the New York Jets for 1 season, and now he has decided to walk away. He was an 8-time Pro Bowler at left tackle. He's retiring after 13 seasons in the NFL. But the ironic thing about his retirement, it also means that another Dallas Cowboy has walked away as well, and that is Zach Martin, 2 of the best players to ever put on a Dallas Cowboy uniform, especially when you look at those offensive lines. Both of those guys have walked away from the game that has given so much to them. And, Mark, I sit back and I think about the history of the Cowboys. And this, I believe, since I've been following them, I believe this is the first time that two legends of the Dallas Cowboys, two draft picks, walked away together in the same season, which means I believe that both of these guys are going to go into the Hall of Fame together.
First ballot?
They should be. Both of them should be. Absolutely.
I don't doubt that. I mean, Teron Smith, he was all pro.
Yep.
And so was Zach Martin. So like
Zach Martin is like the all decade, all century, all everything team. Yeah, he's been on that for a while.
They haven't even invented awards yet that he's gonna get.
Absolutely.
Like he was super impressive, both of them, and I wish them well, and I hope that they are first ballot and they go in together. It's only right.
Yeah, it is something to be seen, but we want to talk now is all about the NFL draft. And speaking of the NFL draft, you can join myself, Craig Way, Cam Parker, and of course, the world's strongest man, Mark Henry.
That's right.
At Twin Peaks, and a special shout out to Twin Peaks for letting me be one of their endorsers, because Twin Peaks has always been a special place that we have been able to go and eat, have meetings, have conversations, and they've always treated us good. And last year's draft was a success, so why not run it back? And we will do it again. We will be at Twin Peaks, the Round Rock location, starting at 2 o'clock next Thursday, day one of the draft, where we're hoping to hear a lot of Texas Longhorns be drafted. And one of the guys that we want to talk about is going to be Quinn Ewers. And Quinn Ewers had an opportunity to talk just the other day about the path to the draft with Rhett and Bucky Brooks, all about the draft.
Oh, what an incredible collegiate run it's been for Quinn Ewers, Texas Longhorns quarterback, who joins us now. Last 2 years, leading the Longhorns back to national prominence in the college football playoff, and now joining us here on Path to the Draft. Quinn, Rhett Lewis, Bucky Brooks here with you. Thanks for joining us, man. Appreciate you.
Yeah. Good to see you guys again, and appreciate y'all having me.
Yeah, of course, man. Want to get into everything about your draft profile, but as a quarterback, man, I know part of your MO is to have that low blood pressure, right? To kind of stay level-headed. But here we're sitting here less than 10 days until the NFL draft. Like, is the anxiety and the anticipation starting to get to you at all?
I don't think so. Honestly, not. I am ready to see where I end up and, what system I'm going to be in and who I'm going to be around for sure. But, at the end of the day, I think it's going to – I'm going to end up where I'm supposed to end up at the end of the day. And I'm just fired up to get to where whoever picks me, man. It's a cool time for me.
Quinn, what was really cool was watching you develop under Steve Sarkisian. It appears that you guys have a special relationship. He always appeared to have your back when it came to talking about you, how you're a great leader at Texas. What have you learned from Sark that'll help you be prepared to go to the next level?
Yeah, Sark's awesome. He's obviously was a successful quarterback in college, and he lets us know that all the time, especially his Cotton Bowl stats and whatnot. So, but no, I mean, I like to say, we got if you go to Texas to play under Sark, you're getting a PhD in quarterback play. And he's taught me a lot about the game, kind of like the game within the game. And I'll be taking all that stuff with me to the next level. We coach guys and like Matt Ryan over there whenever he was with the Falcons, and he's got the NFL experience. So we were an NFL program, and we ran the program like it was an NFL franchise.
And they did. Wow. They ran it like an NFL franchise. And the thing about it is, that is why it really shocks me when a lot of people find a way to try to discredit what Quinn was able to accomplish here at the 40 acres. It's hilarious when people question Coach Sark and his abilities to judge what a quarterback is capable of doing. You don't think that the first thing that comes to his mind is victory? And if he felt like Arch was the right guy for the job, that's not what he would have been able to do. I mean, yeah, there's a reason why he's the head coach of the Texas Longhorns.
I stopped being mad.
Yeah.
I realized that everybody is not qualified to have an opinion.
Right.
Because even people with good opinions sometimes can be shown something. And they have to be able to drop their pride and their willingness to always be right and say, you know what? That's a good point.
Yeah.
Never thought about that. Or I didn't understand that. And Quinn said something that I thought was super interesting. Or interesting.
There you go.
As you would say.
There you go.
He said the game within the game.
Yep.
That Coach Sark teaches them how to manage in the game within the game. I was fortunate enough to have a trainer named Rip Rogers. Really abrasive, not everybody's cup of tea.
Yeah, right.
But he would say be over-prepared and be able to understand how to work within the work. What do you do in between the start and the finish is what's going to make you great. And it seems like the exact same thing that Quinn just said.
Right. Like he said, you got to be able to understand what's happening within the confines of the game. So knowing the game and knowing what's next, we always talk about in baseball, always try to bring it back to being 2 steps ahead. And I always bring this analogy up, and it came from a young kid, and he went on to do great things in the big leagues. His name was Rick Ankiel. He was on his way up on through the minors, and he was a superstar, unbelievable player. And I was in the latter stages of my career, so I was always kind of challenging these guys and trying to help them and guide them. And he said something to me one time that I wasn't used to hearing from a young kid. And I think he was 20 years old at the time. And he told me, I asked him, I said, what are you looking at when you go onto the mound? Are you looking at the scouting report? Are you looking at this guy that's coming to the plate? And we were playing against some great guys. And he said, what I actually think about is if it's a left-handed batter, it's Barry Bonds. If it's a right-handed batter, it's another great Mark McGwire. And I was like, really? And he said, yeah, what I'm trying to do is I'm not trying to face the guy that's down here. I'm trying to figure out how I'm going to get somebody out at the big league level. And I was like, wow, for a 20-year-old kid to already have that, he had that mindset. And to your point about what you said about Rip Rogers and what Quinn was saying about Coach Sark, you have to understand what the game is and where each play, live to play the next play. And that was the game within the game. So I'm excited. We still don't know where Quinn is going to go. There's a lot of speculation. We don't know what round he's going to go in, but I personally believe he'll end up with either the Las Vegas Raiders or he's going to end up with the Los Angeles Rams. I think those are the 2 landing spots for him. I know a lot of people are saying Dallas, but I believe he's going to end up going to a West Coast type of team.
I can see Quinn doing like Brady. He's sitting on the bench, holding the clipboard, and then somebody gets hurt. And then he goes in and he never leaves.
Yep.
Because he's got that in him.
Yeah.
And if you're able to go out there and show that you belong, then you belong.
Yeah.
And everybody's going to like him. I've never heard any player not say, hey, man, that Quinn, he get us right.
Right.
We're ready to go after talking to him.
Right.
And leadership is a big part of it, too.
Quinn is a special type of player. Coming up next, Draft Day. Mel Kiper has released his mock draft. And, of course, a big fish, literally, is on the market. Will Dallas make a move? We'll talk about it right here on the morning kickoff on Sports Radio AM 1300, The Zone.
It's the Craig Way Show.
If Jerry Jones does care as much about his fans as he says, try to make some moves that might at least appeal to them a little more than a lot of the moves you made. In other words, like a real personnel person, real general manager. Make Will McClay the real general manager.
Voice of the Texas Longhorns and Hall of Fame broadcaster. Weekdays from 2 to 5 p.m. on AM 1300 The Zone.
Sports Radio AM 1300 The Zone has your chance to win $1,000. Just enter this nationwide keyword on our website. Grand. That's grand. Enter it now at am1300thezone.com.
AM 1300 The Zone.
Don't miss the iHeartCountry Festival 2025, returning to the Moody Center Saturday, May 3rd. Get your tickets now at Ticketmaster.com.
Some rush hour speeds out there on I-35 northbound. If you're making that change from Highway 45 over to William Cannon Drive, plan for 15 to 20 minutes to be added to your commute due to some stop-and-go speeds. And the drive over on Mopac southbound also congested from Shoreline Drive over to Highway 183, causing a 15-minute backup. I'm Jason Fossick with a look at Austin area traffic.
This report is sponsored by Lowe's. Lowe's knows how to help pros save. With the new My Lowe's Pro Rewards program, get exclusive member-only deals and volume discounts on eligible orders through a quote of $2,000 or more. Exclusions, more terms, and restrictions apply. Details at Lowe's.com/terms, subject to change.
Hey, Austin, this is Cameron Parker with big news. 2024 savings are ending. Customers who switch from Geico, Allstate, and State Farm to Fred Loya Insurance saved an average of $2,300 a year. That's right. Customers in Texas saved an average of $2,300 a year when they switch to Fred Loya Insurance. That's almost $200 a month. Wow. Don't wait. Make 2025 a great year by calling Fred Loya Insurance. Call today, 1-800-444-4040. That's 1-800-444-4040. Or visit fredloya.com. If you don't call, you don't save. Individual savings may vary.
Something amazing is happening at work. Innovative tools are helping people do better work. That's because CDW configuration specialists are multiplying productivity with Microsoft Windows 11 Pro Surface devices. Built-in security, flexibility, and simplified management streamline tasks so your team can get more done. Microsoft and CDW make amazing happen. Learn more at cdw.com/surface.
Hey, weekend warriors, how's a little trail therapy sound right now? Hop in. Let's go for a ride in the all-new Nissan Armada Pro 4X. Tune out all those work emails and turn up that twin-turbo V6 engine. Instead of letting the kids play online, show them some epic inclines. Turn your 8-person family dinner into an exhilarating off-road adventure. The all-new Nissan Armada is here. Intelligent four-wheel drive cannot prevent collisions or provide enhanced traction in all conditions. Always monitor traffic and weather conditions.
Tickets are on sale now, y'all, for our 2025 iHeartCountry Festival, presented by Capital One, happening Saturday, May 3rd at the Moody Center in Austin, Texas. Don't miss your chance to see country music's biggest superstars. Tickets are on sale now. Ticketmaster.com.
Oh, by the way, Ivan's no longer on the project. His wife got a new job, so they're moving across the country.
Robin's top researcher is deviating to a new market. This isn't standard.
And now we're short-staffed. Who's going to finish all these projects?
She needs a cluster of new data analysts, and there's no margin for error.
I need Indeed.
Indeed you do. Put our matching platform to work so you can spend less time searching and more time connecting with talented candidates. Visit Indeed.com/credit and get $75 towards your first sponsored job. Terms and conditions apply.
A message for qualified investors from Noble Gold Investments. If your portfolio is over $250,000 and you aren't hedged, you're sitting on a ticking time bomb. With markets at all-time highs, history tells us what comes next. A 10% allocation into gold and silver can help diversify. Experienced investors know that in times of economic uncertainty, real assets, not paper promises, offer true security. Noble Gold Investments makes it easy to add institutional-grade gold and silver to your portfolio so you can hedge like the world's smartest investors. For nearly a decade, Noble Gold has helped thousands of Americans protect their future, turning numbers on a screen into real, tangible assets. And right now, when you make a qualified investment, Noble Gold will add a free 10th-ounce gold coin to your order. Disciplined investors protect what they've built. Visit NobleGoldInvestments.com today. NobleGoldInvestments.com.
Past performance may not be indicative of future results. Investing in precious metals, including gold, involves risks. Consult with your tax attorney or financial professional before making an investment decision.
If you're in the market for a wood fence for your home or business, Viking Fence is the right choice for you. Viking Fence has been in business for over 50 years and takes pride in being the most reliable fence company in Central Texas. Viking Fence does gorgeous work, from simple privacy fences to custom projects.
Their quality is unmatched. Viking is the only fence company with their own facility where they custom cut red cedar, the most durable and attractive of fence materials, and offer 3 grades of fence pickets, one for every budget. Compare their lumber against the big box stores. And there is no comparison on quality and price. So whether Viking installs your fence or you're doing it yourself, Viking Fence will ensure your satisfaction. Excellent work, great service, and an honest reputation. Call Viking Fence today at 837-6411 for a free estimate or visit their wood fence galleries at vikingfence.com. When you think fence, think Viking.
Sports Radio 1300 The Zone, your home for the Horns.
All right. This is the time of year where everything goes crazy. We've already heard the conversations about Shedeur Sanders and how people are seeing him drop in the NFL draft. We've heard about other players that are having this opportunity to be recognized in this NFL draft. My cousin was once one of those guys that was getting ready for the NFL draft. And certain guys can either make you or break you in these drafts. And one of those people is Mel Kiper. A lot of folks are looking at Mel Kiper. Sometimes you believe in what he says. Sometimes you don't believe in what he says. But he and Phil Yates were having their mock draft. This is the first mock draft for both of these guys, and they were going back and forth. Mel Kiper or Phil Yates would have the number 1 pick. Mel Kiper would have the number 2 pick, and so forth and so forth. So I looked through their mock draft yesterday, and Mel Kiper and Phil Yates talked about 3 Texas Longhorns in this draft. Kelvin Banks, Matthew Golden, and Jahdae Barron. Those are the guys that we all believe will be first-round picks.
First off, can we get everybody that's like doing these picks to pronounce Jade's name right? If I hear one more guy say Jade, I'm gonna jump through my screen and punch him right in the chin.
Man, you are very violent. You are very
I'm
violent.
sorry.
Yeah.
It's early, man.
Yeah, you are a violent human being.
I take all that back. I didn't mean it.
But it is, they vary in who will be the first one off the board. I still believe that Kelvin Banks, I don't understand how he continues to fall in some people's eyes. I always get frustrated when you talk about watch the tape, right? Like, you're going up against guys that were first rounders and you're stunting their growth. You're not letting them get to your quarterback. You are dominating against guys that went in the first round, yet they still look at you and think that you're not good because of your hand placement, your movement. I mean, I thought when you get to the NFL, they're supposed to be taught even more than what they already know.
What's the defensive end that went to Houston?
Anderson.
And he made a Pro Bowl.
Yes, he was Rookie of the Year, Defensive Rookie of the Year.
What did Banks do to him?
Shut him down, stunt his growth.
He had no tackles.
Exactly.
They moved him to the other side in the fourth quarter just so he can get one tackle.
Yes. That is why it is always interesting when all of a sudden, and I told my son this all the time, everybody talks about the eye in the sky doesn't lie until it's time for you to go and draft somebody. Like, it doesn't make sense. And it's just a frustrating conversation every single time. But anyway, Mel Kiper and Phil Yates have Kelvin Banks going at number 11 to the San Francisco 49ers. And the reason why they say the 49ers is because Trent Williams is going to be 37 next year, this season. So you start looking at Kelvin Banks. And then here's the other part. Banks has a massive 84 3/8 inch wingspan? What happened to the short arms? Why were people talking about moving him to guard? Like, it made no sense to me, because now all of a sudden people are looking at him and saying, no, well, they just said he's got an 84 3/8 wingspan. That's massive. So he will be able to play that position and add to it 42 starts. 42 starts. Walked into the University of Texas as a true freshman and started. I don't understand how these people are looking at other guys in front of him on the offensive line, like the kid from Missouri and the kid from Michigan and LSU. I mean,
look at his body of work and who he's gone against.
I agree, man. That's why it's real interesting to me. But the next pick, they have the Dallas Cowboys taking Matthew Golden.
Another Longhorn.
A Longhorn at number 12 to complement what CeeDee Lamb is already able to do, and gives Dak Prescott somebody that he can rely on as the number 2 wide receiver. And I know a lot of people keep looking at the running back position and possibly Ashton Genty falling to the Cowboys. But in this mock draft, they have the Las Vegas Raiders taking Ashton Genty, so he will be off the board. And then you come down to the Cowboys, and the Cowboys go after Matthew Golden, who ran a 4.29. I'm down with that.
I'm 100% down with Hardge, because it's already, even with double coverage and having linebackers drop back and like little umbrella type coverages, CeeDee still eats.
Yep.
Imagine if now there's no safety over there.
Right.
And you're 15 yards away from him. Like, it's just going to make for all of, just a better situation for the Cowboys offense. And I think the Cowboys are going to have to score more.
Yeah.
They already scored 30 points a game, but they're going to have to score 37 points a game to beat Washington.
Yeah,
and to beat the Eagles.
Yeah, you're definitely going to have to score unless your defense is going to be that tough. But in that conference, you see every team has gotten better.
Not looking good.
Yeah, you got to go out there and score some points. And then it has that number 16. What do you like, Jade or Jade?
It's Jade Barron, sir.
The Arizona Cardinals taking him with the 16th pick in their mock draft.
Okay.
And it shows a lot of versatility, because I was on a show in Las Vegas yesterday talking about him and what he brings to the table. And I always go back to his versatility. Every position that he was asked to play at the University of Texas, he excelled at. He excelled and got better and better until they decided, hey, you know what? We're going to leave you at corner. And all he did was win the Thorpe Award because he was that talented.
He was good at safety. He was good at corner. When they put him at slot, usually guys his size, 6'1" corners don't do well in the slot. You need those 5'9", 6 feet corners that can, really move around. Jade was able to do it all.
Yeah.
I would draft him just off versatility and being able to, like we talk about Jordan Lewis. Jordan was not an outside corner.
Right.
But at inside, moving laterally back and forth, man, it was hard to beat.
Yeah, and it is interesting too, because when you watch him, he's not afraid to come in there and lay that hat on you. He can go out there, and he's got great ball skills. He can high point the ball, and he's just versatile enough that he can probably return punts. He can block kick. He can do it all. So whoever gets him, that Swiss Army knife, will have the ability to put him in places to succeed. He reminds me of the Honey Badger.
Yeah.
He reminds me of the Honey Badger,
Good
where he's
comparison.
not afraid to go in there and make plays. And, of course, he ran a 4.3. So add that to the resume as well.
And he's not one of those guys that just try to go in there and unlace your shoes.
No, he
actually comes in hands behind the knees, shoulder in the gut, and he's trying to take you down.
Yeah, he's definitely there to make plays. And so I'll be following this closely. As I said, we will be at Twin Peaks for the draft starting next Thursday, 2 o'clock start right here on AM 1300 The Zone. Come out, hang out, and let's talk about it. And Mel Kiper and Phil Yates have Andrew Makuba going number 70th overall to the Jacksonville Jaguars. So Texas is the move. And another Longhorn going to the 49ers. That would be Alfred Collins. I see you, Shanahan. Coming up next, we have the world's strongest man bringing you his world's strongest take right here on the Morning Kickoff on Sports Radio, AM 1300, The Zone.
Don't miss the iHeart Country Festival 2025, returning to the Moody Center Saturday, May 3rd. Get your tickets now at Ticketmaster.com.
Some rush hour speeds out there on I-35 northbound. If you're making that change from Highway 45 over to William Cannon Drive, plan for 15 to 20 minutes to be added to your commute due to some stop-and-go speeds. And the drive over on Mopac southbound also congested from Shoreline Drive over to Highway 183, causing a 15-minute backup. I'm Jason Fossick with a look at Austin area traffic.
This report is sponsored by Rapid Radios.
Rapid Radios are instant push-to-talk walkie-talkies offering national LTE coverage and no subscription ever. A great alternative to a mobile phone for your kids. For a limited time, go to rapidradios.com and you'll get 60% off. Free UPS shipping. Add code radio and get an extra 5% off.
Prescriptions require an online consultation with a healthcare provider who will determine if appropriate. Restrictions apply. See website for details and important safety information. Price varies based on product and subscription plan.
Hey guys, let's talk ED because millions of men experience it, but not everyone can access or afford treatments like Viagra. Well, Hims can help. Through Hims.com, you can get a full range of treatment options for ED, including daily or as-needed meds through a 100% online process. It all starts with an online intake form. Get started at Hims.com/radio, and from there, a medical provider licensed in your state will determine if ED treatment is right for you. If prescribed, your medication is shipped to you for free. Find the ED treatment that fits your needs with options up to 95% less than the brand names. Millions of men experience ED, but Hims can help. To start your free online visit and save up to 95%, go to Hims.com/radio. That's Hims.com/radio for your free online visit. HIMS.com/RADIO.
One of life's greatest mysteries has finally been solved.
Who let the dogs out?
It's Spruce, the new hardworking, worry-free weed and grass killer that's safe for use around people and pets. When used as directed, spray the leaves for visible results in just 1 hour and dead weeds in just 1 day. You spray, they play. Weeds die by the next day. Find Spruce wherever weed killers are sold.
Did you know Factory Mattress has over 6,000 5-star local reviews? Factory Mattress carries all the major brands at the guaranteed lowest price and has free next-day delivery and setup. But this week only, instead of charging you a pickup fee for your old mattress like other companies do, Factory Mattress is doing an exclusive $100 trade-in allowance, even if you didn't buy it from us. The best customer reviews and the lowest prices.
My Factory Mattress.
Steel GMC in Round Rock. Hi, I'm Steve David, General Manager. Great deals are all we do here at Steel GMC. Our deal is upfront, honest, and a real deal. Not some overhyped web price that when you get there, vanishes like a 30-point lead. Come see us and get a real deal at Steel. Exit 256 in Round Rock or see for yourself at SteelGMCRoundRock.com.
Shoppers first or shoppers last. Get a real deal from Steel.
We are professional grade.
If you're 55 and up, T-Mobile has plans built just for you. 2 lines of unlimited for just $30 a line. That's a 45% savings compared to Verizon and AT&T. But don't just take our word for it.
It's not just the savings that are great with our T-Mobile plan. There's all this value from all these other things that T-Mobile offers.
T-Mobile has been such a savings for us.
We love it. Switch today and get 2 free 5G phones like the Motorola Edge with Turbo Power charging that gives you power for the day in just 15 minutes. And customers 55 and up can get 2 lines of talk, text, and data for only $30 a line. Go to T-Mobile.com/choice55 to learn more. With 24 monthly bill credits and 2 new lines with autopay for well-qualified customers plus taxes, fees, and $35 per line connection charge. Credits end and balance due if you pay off early or cancel. Contact us plus $5 per line without autopay. Debit or bank account required. 45% off 2 lines versus AT&T Starter and Verizon Welcome. Plan benefits vary. See details at T-Mobile.com. Motorola Edge requires 68-watt charger. Charger sold separately. Actual performance will vary based on usage and configuration.
From the ABA Heating and Cooling Weather Center, this is Zone Weather.
Your Austin weather, cloudy skies for your Wednesday, a high in the mid to upper 80s, partly cloudy tonight, a low of 65. Thursday morning clouds, afternoon sunshine, a high in the upper 80s.
This report is sponsored by Randall's. Save on family favorites when you shop with digital coupons at Randall's. This week at Randall's, get oven-ready beef roast for just $6.97 per pound with digital coupon. Plus, get 1-pound packages of strawberries for only $1.97 each with digital coupon.
The free iHeartRadio app has over 100 commercial-free stations waiting for you to explore right now, like Alt 2K. A commercial-free look back to alternative from the 2000s.
It just takes some time, little girl in the middle of the ride.
With Foo Fighters, Weezer, Linkin Park, Green Day, the Red Hot Chili Peppers, and more.
Someone like you.
Just open the free iHeartRadio app, search Alt 2K, and make it your next preset.
iHeartRadio.
Catch every pitch with the Round Rock Express on 1300 The Zone.
That's what I do.
That's what he does. And you know what else he does? He brings you the world's strongest take. Only brought to you by the world's strongest man and the WWE Hall of Famer, the Mark Henry. Take it away, big fella.
All right.
What's up, man?
You know what time it is?
What time is it?
It's time for the world's strongest take by the world's strongest man. Marcus! Good job with that open. I love it. I love me some me. Back then, they didn't know me. Now I'm hot. They all on me. Guys, it's okay to use incorrect grammar when you say that's what I do. You can say that's what he do if you're referring to me saying that's what I do. Say it with your chest hard.
That's what I do.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Yeah.
Guys, my take today, it's hard for me to swallow this. It's hard for me to say this because I've given this guy so much flack this season. And he deserves it, though. He deserves it.
I accept your apology.
No, not you. You're all right. You're all right. I'm talking about Draymond Green. About a month ago, it was a big trade. Big trade. Jimmy Butler goes to Golden State. And in this trade, Draymond Green says the next day after the trade, they hadn't practiced together. They hadn't had, I don't know how many conversations they had, but Draymond Green said, now that we have Jimmy, we're going to win the championship. And I laughed like I'm still laughing right now. And I'm not laughing no more because of what he said. I'm laughing because I'm apologizing to Draymond Green. Draymond Green made me a believer last night. Watching the game in the playoff, the Golden State Warriors were able to beat the Memphis Grizzlies despite the fact it was the worst officiating that I've seen all season. First half, they made no calls. They just swallowed the whistle. The second half, it was like the referees all got together and decided we don't want Golden State to win, so let's handicap them. Anything goes with Steph Curry. I'm gonna give you Steph Curry's stat line. Steph Curry played 39 minutes. He was 9 for 22. He was 6 for 13. He had 8 rebounds, 4 assists, and 37 points. The reason that his 3-point percentage was high was because he was doing Steph Curry things, and you just can't foul somebody on the perimeter. But every shot that he took going to the basket, every one of them, and that's where we go into this 9 of 22, this horrible percentage. He was fouled. He was grabbed. He was held. Steph Curry very likely could have scored 45 to 50 points last night. Jimmy Butler did Jimmy Butler big playoff Jimmy things. He was 12 for 20 and scored 38 points, which is a typical big playoff Jimmy stat line. But the whole point of this is Draymond Green saying that with Jimmy Butler, they're a more versatile, incredibly able defensive team, along with having one of the best scorers in the world be put in a situation where he can do what he does. And I have to say he is right. I think, and this is my take, the best team in the East, Boston, clearly. Really close, Cleveland. And we all know that Shai Gilgeous-Alexander is the best player in the league, and he's going to get the MVP at Oklahoma City. Number 1 team in the West. And right behind them, even though Houston is ranked above them, the Lakers have proved and beaten Houston 3-1 this year that they're a better team than Houston. So I will put the Lakers as the second best team. Golden State beat the Lakers pretty handily. They split this year, but Golden State did more damage to them. I would say, in my heart of hearts, that I do think now, Draymond was right, that they can win the NBA championship. What say you?
I don't think they have enough depth to be able to do that. I think that they will be in a position to give some guys a couple of good games, but I don't think they can win the NBA championship. I think it's hard for them because of the fact that now we're going to a series. That's one game. It's going to be hard for a series. You see how much Steph has to go through during these games. It is a lot of running. It is a lot of wear and tear, the physicality. Jimmy, 38 points, that's cool. How consistent is he going to be? We don't know. Draymond, guaranteed to get a technical at some point this weekend. And when they start this series.
He did last night.
Just because of the physicality of this. And Ime Udoka is not going to let Golden State just come in and bully them into thinking that they're about to just run through this squad. So, not saying that they can't get past Houston, but they ain't guaranteed to get past everybody else that's in that West that they may end up having to go to.
Let me ask you this. Do you think Golden State can beat Houston in a series?
Yeah, absolutely.
Do you think they can beat Denver?
No. I don't think they can beat Denver.
You don't think they can beat the Lakers?
Nope.
And you don't think they can beat Oklahoma City?
Nope. Series, not one game. Yeah. One game, anything is possible. No, I don't think it can happen.
Wow.
Another great take by the world's strongest man. We'll see how everything turns out because basketball continues to roll. Coming up next, we're going to close out the show to send you to Dan Patrick. But just remember this, we're going to preview more basketball games because they are still playing play-in right here on the Morning Kickoff on Sports Radio, AM 1300, The Zone.
Get ready ready to cheer on your Round Rock Express right here on 1300 The Zone. From the first pitch to the final out, Round Rock Express Baseball, only on 1300 The Zone.
Don't miss the iHeart Country Festival 2025, returning to the Moody Center Saturday, May 3rd. Get your tickets now at Ticketmaster.com.
There's a new crash on McKinney Falls Parkway at Tinna Parkway, which is right near William Cannon Drive, causing some delays. There's also an accident being worked on Steck Avenue at Shoal Creek Boulevard, and I-35 northbound is pretty slow from the 45 Southeast toll over to William Cannon Drive, causing about a 15-minute add to the Wednesday morning commute. I'm Jason Fossick with a look at Austin area traffic.
This report is sponsored by Cordell & Cordell.
Cordell & Cordell. Divorce and family law. CordellCordell.com. 866-323-7529. 866-323-7529. Joseph Cordell, Principal Partner. CordellCordell.com.
This is Mark Henry, the world's strongest man. Discover the true taste of Texas at Mom's Food, Smokehouse, and Delicatessen, where everything is handcrafted in-house, from the mustard to the bacon. Proudly featured in the inaugural Michelin Guide of Texas, they source the finest products from local producers. Visit us at 5811 Manor Road, Austin, Texas, or find them at your favorite farmer's market. Pre-order their barbecue today. Don't you keep the best delicatessen in Austin a secret. Tell them Mark Henry sent you.
By texting 64000, you agree to receive recurring automated marketing messages from Ownwell. Message and data rates may apply. No purchase required. Terms apply. Available at ownwell.com/terms. Estimate based on your neighborhood average and individual results may vary.
When I saw how high my property tax bill was, I was shocked. We couldn't afford this, but I discovered Ownwell. Ownwell reduced my property taxes and saved me over $1,000.
Your property taxes aren't set in stone. They can be protested and they can be reduced. But instead of filing protests yourself and very possibly losing your appeal, Ownwell does it all for you. But hurry, time is running out to protest. Ownwell has reduced property taxes for hundreds of thousands of Texans and put money back in their pocket, and you can be one of them. And unlike other companies that take half of whatever you save, Ownwell charges just 25%, and that's only if you save.
Now I don't worry about my property taxes. Ownwell reduces it every year.
Sign up now, free. Don't pay unless you save. But hurry, time is running out to protest. Text WIN to 64,000. Text WIN to 64,000. Text WIN to 64,000.
In the NFL, there's no margin for error. One mistake can change the outcome of a game. Science proves quality sleep can help boost reaction time, recovery time, overall athletic performance. As the official sleep and wellness partner of the National Football League, Sleep Number's mission is to provide players with data and insights to optimize their sleep for the ultimate competitive edge. And did you know 80% of NFL players have a Sleep Number smart bed? I've been partnering with Sleep Number since 2008. My Sleep Number setting is 75. And sleep plays such an important role in recovery, and we're all unique in what we need from our beds. Why choose a Sleep Number smart bed? So you can choose your ideal comfort on either side. The only bed that lets you make each side firmer or softer. That's your Sleep Number setting. Right now, for a limited time, Sleep Number smart beds start at $849. Prices higher in Alaska and Hawaii, exclusively at a Sleep Number store near you. Sleep Number, official sleep and wellness partner of the NFL. See store or sleepnumber.com/Patrick for details.
Hey, weekend warriors, how's a little trail therapy sound right now? Hop in. Let's go for a ride in the all-new Nissan Armada Pro 4X. Tune out all those work emails and turn up that twin-turbo V6 engine. Instead of letting the kids play online, show them some epic inclines. Turn your 8-person family dinner into an exhilarating off-road adventure. The all-new Nissan Armada is here. Intelligent four-wheel drive cannot prevent collisions or provide enhanced traction in all conditions. Always monitor traffic and weather conditions.
All about the presets.
That is the best new feature. It's like a car radio right on the app. There's a list of what's trending. There's all the podcasts. I love it.
Get in on what everyone's talking about and get the new and improved free iHeartRadio app today.
Still getting around to that fix on your car? You got this. On eBay, you'll find millions of parts, guaranteed to fit. Doesn't matter if it's a major engine repair or your first time swapping your windshield wipers. eBay has that part you need, ready to click perfectly into place for changes big and small. Loud or quiet. Find all the parts you need at prices you'll love, guaranteed to fit every time. But you already know that. eBay. Things, people, love. Eligible items only. Exclusions apply.
When divorce places your home, finances, or kids in jeopardy, Cordell & Cordell is here to fight to protect your interests. Cordell & Cordell is committed to advocating for your rights in divorce and family law matters, providing the legal experience to fight for success. Call today for a consultation and details on our military service member pricing.
Offices in Austin, San Antonio, and St. Louis. Schedule an appointment with one of Cordell & Cordell's Austin area attorneys. Joseph Cordell, Principal Partner. CordellCordell.com.
The Bunny's Basket is full of savings from Specs. The fun starts here.
Portions of the following program were pre-recorded.
Texas softball is heating up. Catch every pitch.
Field back goes Dill. The warning track to the wall. It's gone.
As the Horns take on the SEC, search Retro Austin on the free iHeartRadio app and listen to Texas softball all season long.
If you missed any part of the show, all you got to do is get over to the podcast page and check out all of the great guests that we've had, all the great comments that we've had, and of course, we want to thank you. Mark, you got some people that you want to thank, if I'm not mistaken, right?
Yeah, man, you was giving shout outs, man. I want to give shout outs to my people over there at Mom Foods and Delicatessen.
Okay.
Guys, this is not a structured shout out. This is from my heart. If you like pastrami and you like New York style cheesecake, I suggest that you get to Mom's immediately. It's medicine. It's medicine for your stomach. It's so good, man.
Yep.
And shout out to Advantage Storage too, man. You know,
got to make it happen. Got to get your storage down.
I'm gonna give my shout out.
There it is. There it is. I wanted to talk about this because you and I have been going back and forth about these matchups and in the NBA and these play-in games and all of the playoffs that are going on. So tonight, the Dallas Mavericks, we talked about Nico and what goes on with him. The Mavericks will play at Sacramento tonight at 9:00 on the road, but the day starts with the Miami Heat versus the Chicago Bulls. The Heat has been up and down all season long. You look at what Chicago and the players that they have and what brings out the best in them. Who you got in this first game? 6:30 tip on ESPN. The Bulls are favored by 1.5 over the Miami Heat. Jimmy's gone. The Heat have kind of found their way into this. Is Bam Adebayo going to think that he is a 6'9" point guard, or is he going to go in there and bang a little bit to try to get this team to the next level?
Man, Chicago's been balling. Chicago's really been playing well, man. I feel like I'm gonna have to go Chicago. As much as I feel like Hero has a chance to establish himself as one of the dominant guards in the league, everybody else is not meeting him in Chicago.
Right.
I mean, in Miami. They're just not standing up. So, yeah, I'm gonna go with Chicago.
And it's interesting because the points per game is so close that it is one of those things that it's a pick 'em. You know what I'm gonna do tonight? I'm gonna take the Miami Heat. I'm gonna take the Miami
because.
Well, I mean, you talked about Tyler Hero and what he needs to do, but I'm also looking at Bam Adebayo and saying, "Hey, man, go over there and show why you believe that you are a franchise type of player. This is your opportunity to step up and make something happen." And speaking of stepping up and making something happen, the Dallas Mavericks are going up on the road to Sacramento. They're taking on the Kings. We have been talking about this matchup, not necessarily this matchup, but the matchup of Anthony Davis taking over this. He's going up against Sabonis and what he's the double-double machine in the NBA. Dallas went out and said, we need to see a guy that is a two-way player. Can Anthony Davis show that he is a two-way player? Be a defensive-minded guy when they try to get into the paint, but he's going to be challenged in this matchup. But Sacramento, a team that is 5-5 in their last 10 games, while the Mavericks are 4-6 in their last 10 games. But I'm going to take the Mavericks because you know why? I'm not firing Nico. Nico's not going anywhere.
The Mavericks ran into some dogs, though. The two of those losses came to the Lakers, who Luka was emotional and went off, and the other one came from Oklahoma City, who is Oklahoma City.
Yep.
You can't deny either one of those two teams. But the whole thing is not going to come down to Anthony Davis and Sabonis. They're going to do them. It's going to come down to, can Dinwiddie do what he did against the Lakers and play above his head and score 25 points, because that's the guard play with Kyrie Irving being gone. They're going to have somebody step up at guard in Dallas. And it's sad that they lost Kyrie, but I think things would be different if they did have it.
They played each other on March the 3rd, and the Sacramento Kings beat the Dallas Mavericks 122-98 in that matchup. Zach LaVine was still on the team. I mean, was the key part of that. Kai Jones was the leading scorer for the
University of Texas. Kai Jones,
for the Mavericks. So that lets you know
he's
exactly,
7-1 now.
Yeah, that just tells you that if Kai Jones was your leading scorer, you didn't have Anthony Davis. You did have Kyrie, though, but you had Klay Thompson and Dante Exum and Dwight Powell all in the starting lineup. That tells you everything you need to know
Dante
about
Exum
that game.
Can't play at the rec center. He couldn't play at Fondy right now.
And I'm not a big fan of Dwight Powell. Matter of fact, he is somebody that I do not like at all. I don't understand how he's still even on the team. I think he should have been part of the. Yeah, he should have been the guy that was sent in a trade with Luka. But Max Christie, he came off the bench. He had played 29 minutes. Spencer Dinwiddie had 10 points in that game. Najee Marshall had 18. And as I said, Kai Jones coming off the bench to get 21 points. Their starters barely got to 24 points. So the bench was everything. And so we'll see. I think that was the game that Kyrie got hurt, if I'm not mistaken, because he only played 9 minutes in that game. So, yeah. But Zach LaVine, he's a big difference. DeMar DeRozan, he's going to be a big difference for Sacramento. But the big man in the middle, the top rebounder, Domantas Sabonis, is going to be the one that is going to have to be able to change everything. No doubt. So for me, you start looking at these games, you start to understand what exactly it is. And now these teams put a lot of pressure on each other. So you're taking Chicago tonight.
I'm taking Chicago.
I'm taking the Heat. You're taking Sac? Or are you taking Dallas?
I'm going to go Dallas.
Okay.
I think Dinwiddie is going to show up. Now he realized he's the point guard.
Right.
And sometimes confidence is everything. Being put in that role. Hey, it's your job. Like, go do your job. And Dante Exum, oh my gosh. Man, how did he get up and down the court on those legs?
Hey,
they should sue his legs for non-support.
I want to thank everybody for tuning in to the morning kickoff. I want to thank Mark Henry. I want to thank Marcus Spears. I want to thank Danny Davis for breaking it down for all things Texas women's basketball and, of course, Texas football. And I want to make sure that you, the people, tune in. Tomorrow, Kendrick Perkins will be on with us. We'll also have Coach Schlossnagel, and we will have Eric Henry of Horns 24/7. Big matchups this weekend for Texas baseball, and we'll continue these conversations. For Marcus, for Mark, I'm Hardball Hardge, and just remember this, don't believe everything you see, because even salt looks like sugar. Happy birthday to our boss, Christine. Enjoy your day. Right here on the Morning Kickoff on Sports Radio AM 1300, The Zone. Hardball Hardge here. Spring is in full swing, so let's talk graduation gifts and summertime road trips. From sleek sedans to bold SUVs and tough Chevy trucks, Cover Chevy in Hutto is where it's at. Go see them for 4th